He clung to the slide, shouting, "Just one more time!" His little hands gripping the bar, eyes full of tears. And in that moment, I felt it. The pull between love and frustration. Because we really did have to go. I wanted to fix it, fast. To stop the crying, the stares, the chaos. But the faster I tried, the louder he cried. Until I learned what his brain was really trying to say. It wasn't resisting. It was grieving. Because toddlers don't resist logic, they lose safety. And when we rush to control that storm, we accidentally feed it. But there's another way, a gentler way, grounded in neuroscience and connection, that can help us calm the chaos before it explodes. I call it the 5-step brain hack. And once you understand it, tantrums start to look less like disobedience and more like communication. Because this isn't about perfect parenting. It's about peaceful moments, one meltdown at a time. I used to think tantrums meant I was doing something wrong. That somehow, if my child was melting down, I must have failed. But the more I watched, the more I realized it wasn't about me. It was about what was happening inside his little brain. The next day, I watched him again. Same park, same slide, same little boy. But this time, I paid attention differently. When it was time to go, I noticed his face before the tears. His eyes went wide, his breath quickened, and I realized the meltdown didn't start when he screamed. It started seconds before, when his brain sensed loss. That moment, something in me softened. Because behind that scream wasn't a child being difficult. It was a child feeling disconnected. His body was saying, "Something safe just changed and I don't know how to handle it." Here's what I've learned since then. Tantrums follow a real pattern in the brain, something I now call the hidden loop. When your child feels frustrated or forced to stop something they love, the emotional part of their brain, the amygdala, lights up first. That's the alarm center. It doesn't think, it reacts. But the part that helps them pause and plan, the prefrontal cortex, is still under construction. It's like asking a toddler to drive a car with no steering wheel. They can't slow down what they feel. They can only show it. And here's what I remind myself every time. It's not bad behavior. It's a brain that's still learning balance. When we step in and say, "Stop crying," their brain doesn't hear reason. It hears rejection. The more their body senses threat, the louder the emotion grows. That's not defiance. That's distress. So now, when I look at my son's tear-streaked face, I try to see the scared child underneath the noise. Because the truth is, you can't reason with fear, but you can reach it through safety. And that's what I didn't understand back then, until I learned what happens when my brain joins the chaos too. I wish I could tell you that once I understood my son's brain, the meltdown stopped. But they didn't. Because there was still one more piece I hadn't figured out yet. Me. See, our children's emotions aren't the only ones that spiral. Ours do too. When our child cries or screams, our own nervous system lights up. Our heart races. Our mind shouts, "Fix this! Make it stop!" That's not bad parenting. That's biology. But here's the paradox. The more we try to fix fast, the worse it often gets. When I say calm down, what my son hears isn't calm. It's control. He feels my tension before he hears my words. And when my energy says stop, his body says fight. One night, after snapping over the wrong spoon, I saw the shift. His eyes went from angry to broken. He wasn't fighting anymore. He was shutting down. That night, I realized something simple. When I try to control his calm, I lose my own. Because regulation doesn't happen through control. It happens through connection. So I began to change my question. Instead of, how do I calm him down? I asked, what does he need to feel safe again? Sometimes the answer was physical. A hug, closeness, quiet. Sometimes it was emotional, just words that matched his feeling. You're sad because it ended too fast. You wanted it to last longer. That's when I started to see the difference between quieting him and understanding him. And that changed everything. So if trying to calm them fast doesn't work, what does? That's what I'll show you in the next part. The 5 gentle steps that help you meet your child in the middle of their storm and guide both of you back to calm, together. When I stopped trying to control my son's tantrums, I started asking a better question. How can I help him move through the storm, not just silence it? That's when I found this 5-step brain hack. It's not a quick fix, but a way to guide your child's brain back to safety, step by step, through presence, empathy, and repair. Step 1. Ground yourself so you can ground them. The first step isn't about them. It's about us. Because when their body goes into fight, our body often goes there too. So before I speak, I notice what's happening in me. Is my jaw tight? My breath shallow? I press one hand on my chest and remind myself, he's having a hard time, not giving me a hard time. That thought, more than any breath, is what resets my tone. Only then can I reach for him, not react to him. Step 2. Meet, don't tower. I lower myself to his level, not just physically, but emotionally. Instead of standing above him, I sit beside him and look gently toward where his eyes are, even if he's not ready to look back. I don't rush in with calm down. I simply reflect what I see. Your fists are tight. Your face is red. This is really hard, huh? It's small, but it tells his body, I see you. I'm not afraid of your big feelings. That's what helps him begin to feel safe. Step 3. Stay with the feeling. This is where most of us struggle, because it's uncomfortable to stay in the storm, but that's the moment the real regulation happens. I don't try to distract or fix. I stay beside him while he cries, keeping my body calm, maybe whispering, I know, you really didn't want to leave the park. And then I wait. Sometimes it's 2 minutes. Sometimes it's 10. But when I stay through it, I can feel the shift. His sobs soften. His shoulders drop. His breathing starts to sync with mine. He's not just calming down. He's learning how to come back from overwhelm with me. That's co-regulation at its truest form, not forcing quiet, but showing safety. Step 4. Reflect the story behind the feeling. Once he's calmer, I help him find the words. Not, you're fine, but, you were sad because playtime ended, right? It was fun, and stopping felt sudden. That's what Sarah Ockwell Smith calls emotional literacy in action. Naming what happened accurately so the brain can file the experience away safely. He might nod or whisper, yeah, and that's enough. That's the moment the thinking brain comes back online. It's not about teaching a lesson. It's about helping him understand himself. Step 5. Repair and reconnect. After the tears fade, I always make space for a moment of connection. Sometimes it's a hug. Sometimes it's play. Sometimes it's a simple, we got through that together, huh? That line is powerful because it turns I lost it into we found our way back. Later, I might add, next time it feels too hard, we can pause together like this again. That teaches him that even mistakes, even meltdowns, don't break love.
These 5 steps aren't about preventing every tantrum.
They're about transforming what happens inside them and inside us when emotions run high. Because the goal isn't a quiet child, it's a connected one. In the next part, let's talk about what begins to change when you keep showing up this way. How these little moments of safety start to reshape both of you from the inside out.
The first few times I tried these 5 steps,
Nothing looked different. He still cried. I still doubted myself. But something subtle was shifting. The atmosphere between us. I wasn't rushing. He wasn't panicking as hard. And somehow that felt like progress. Because this isn't instant transformation. It's pattern training. Every time we co-regulate, we're laying a new pathway in the brain, a bridge between chaos and calm. Here's how it unfolds over time. Day 1, the shock. You try it and your child screams louder. They're confused because you're responding differently. It feels worse, but it's not failure. It's retraining a nervous system that's used to defense. Day 3, the shift. The crying starts to sound different, less like anger, more like sadness. Because now they're not fighting your energy, they're leaning into it. You'll notice small cues. They let you touch their shoulder or seek your eyes sooner. That's the bridge forming. Day 7, the softening. Meltdowns still happen, but the recovery is faster. And the moment that used to end in slammed doors now ends in deep breaths. Sometimes from both of you. You might even see them copy your gestures. The hand on the chest, the long exhale. That's the brain learning by imitation. Mirror neurons at work, quietly rewriting patterns of safety. Weeks later, the trust. One night he was upset again, this time over homework. Tears, shouting, frustration. I sat beside him and said softly, "This is one of those hard moments, huh? But remember, we know how to do this now." He looked at me and then he said, "I can breathe, right?" And he did. I just sat there, smiling through tears, watching him do what used to feel impossible. Regulate himself. That's the power of repetition. It's not about never having meltdowns again. It's about building trust in the process. The more consistent we are, the more the child's brain learns big feelings aren't dangerous. I can handle them. And the more our own brain learns, I can stay kind even when things are messy. That's when the relationship starts to change. Because the truth is, tantrums don't disappear because we control them. They fade because safety replaces fear. And that safety comes from a parent who keeps showing up. Calm, attuned, imperfect, but present.
in the final part, we'll talk about what this kind of connection means long-term. How these tiny moments of empathy don't just change tantrums, but shape who our children grow up to be.
The more I practiced, the more I realized this was never about tantrums. It was about trust. Every meltdown I used to dread became a window into something deeper. My child learning what safety feels like, and me learning what presence really means. Because when you stay beside your child through their hardest moments, you're doing more than calming emotions. You're building their brain. They learn one powerful truth. When I lose control, someone stays until I find it again. That's what shapes emotional security. One afternoon, I saw this unfold in the simplest way. We were in the kitchen. I dropped a glass. It shattered everywhere. Before I could react, my little boy looked up and said softly, "It's okay, Mommy. We can clean it together." And I just stood there, because the calm I'd spent months giving him was now coming back to me. That's when I knew. Every gentle moment wasn't wasted. It was becoming part of who he is. That's the bigger picture. Connection that survives chaos. Gentle parenting isn't about being endlessly patient or peaceful. It's about teaching our children and ourselves that love can stay, even when life feels messy. He doesn't remember the blue cup or the wrong spoon,
But I hope he remembers this, that every time his world felt too big, his mom didn't walk away. She stayed. That's how a child learns. I am safe, even when I'm not okay. So if you're in one of those hard moments today, pause. Not to fix it, but to be with it, because that's where connection begins. If this spoke to your heart, share it with a parent who needs this reminder today, because the world needs more calm parents and more kids who grow up knowing love stays.